Attack the enemy! Victory is ours!
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back for some more high-tier Japan tanks. This is a battle from the 13th of February 2018, and real quick before we get started, if you watch the FPS counter in the lower left, which I know most of you wouldn't have noticed except for that I mentioned it, but some of you would have seen it. I actually played this game on my old computer with my really old video card with the 750 Ti 2 gig video card on it. So you'll notice the frame rate hovers around somewhere between 40 to 50 frames a second for most of the battle, which I consider to be playable, but I was more just kind of giving the old system a test out on War Thunder to see if I could play it in tanks. It gets better frame rates with air battles, of course, but I still think it gets an acceptable frame rate with tank battles. Just obviously not as good as my new system with the 1060 6 gig card and my 1800X processor and faster RAM, etc. So just anyway, there's a few moments where there's a little bit of frame drop and there's a little bit of frame lag and you can kind of see and feel the hiccups in the video, but for the most part I think it worked out well. And it is my backup system, and for the most part I'm going to do all of my gameplay and all of my rendering on my new machine, and that's my primary system, of course. So just as a slight backstory, my new system, my 1800X system, with my new my newer video card, it's a year old now, is attached to our main living room TV, and that's where I do most of my gameplay and recording and streaming from. So I do share the TV with my family, and occasionally my wife and daughter want to watch something on the TV, so I give them the TV and I go and play or edit videos and stuff on the old system, because I can then render them on the new system. So I set them up, get them all ready to go, and then I just import the files and everything to the new system and do my rendering there. So this just happened to be one of those days, and I actually had two battles that I played on the old system that ended up being video worthy, so this isn't even the only one. At any rate, here comes the first shot coming up here. This is not one of the crazy guesstimated shots, as you'll see, because right as I was getting ready to shoot, my tank hit a little bit of a hill and dropped my gun barrel down, so I don't know if I would have hit that guy if I was driving straight and level. I actually don't think I would have, but the crazy guesstimated shots that I referenced in the video title are coming up here. On everybody's favorite map, the Maginot Line. I actually like it. It is frustrating sometimes, but I enjoy this map a lot more than some of the other maps. So, rolling up to the B point, our team's taking C. I'm going to get up to B here. Looking at the mini-map, it looks like my friend in the Leopard is pretty close on my tail. So I'm starting the cap, and then I'm going to back off if he doesn't make it in, but he's closing in pretty quickly, and I'm pretty sure a Leopard has got the speed to make it in here, so can hear him driving up. I was ready to back out of the cap if he didn't make it. When I see he's obviously going to make it, I get my artillery out and I fire it on an enemy SPG that had been marked up in those houses there along the road. So we finish the cap. I move over to where my artillery is hitting, take a peek. I can see somebody was shooting from there on the mini-map, so I get a hit on him, I see him marked on the minimap from the hit, and now I know just about where he is, so I'm going to pull up and see if I can spot him. Get up here, take a peek outside, and what do I see? Nothing, but oh, what's that in the corner of the screen? Why, it's an Object 120 driving back out, and I hit him and set him on fire. So pull back up, and right as I'm about to take another shot at him, I take a shot from somebody up close, and when I look, we've got a problem. First shot fired off, not the greatest guesstimated shot, but took a counter-fire in from what looked like a T-95E1, deployed my smoke and backed all the way back in to repair, grab another crew member, reset, and mark the guys for the team. So figured I'll get a couple of reloads in, I'll reload my smoke, I'll get a new crew member, and I'll do all my repairing. So that's what I'm doing. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any follow-up shots on the 120, so I let the team know where he was, and then I let the team know where the at least two enemy tanks were that I saw, which definitely looked like a T-95E1 and a T-54 of some type. Probably a 49 or a 51, but I wasn't entirely sure. I saw it briefly enough that I didn't get that close of a look at the turret. And there's the first guesstimated shot. Pretty good solid hit on the T-54 there. Pulled up again to get a second follow-up shot on him. Roughly guesstimated that shot there. Got another pretty good hit in the side of his turret, but I don't think there was anybody in the loader's seat anymore. And everybody say hi to John Clee there in the chat. And waited, reloaded, pop back out again. Got him in sight, took another quick guesstimated shot, and nailed him. Took out the rest of the crew with a hit to his front of his chassis, his hull. So not too bad there. 3 quick, not really ranged-in shots, and 3 good hits on him.
Attention to the map.
Pull up again, looking for the T-95E1. And what do I see but another T-54. Now that shot I was really excited about. I was just happy to even hit him at all, and thought, man, that was a pretty good snapshot, honestly. Now these shots right here, watching back in the replay, I can tell they're not going to hit the T-95E1. However, they are hitting dirt up in the sky. They're throwing dirt up in front of him, so I'm at least, I may not be hitting him, but I'm at least able to keep him from being able to see anybody and shoot back. And my gun keeps going to the sky here, which is really frustrating. Now, I can tell, obviously, there's no way those shots had a chance. So, if that helps you believe that I actually was guesstimating the first shots on the T-54s, because I was, I'm pretty good. I've got a pretty good handle on the shot ballistics on the STB-1's 105mm gun with the Heat FS rounds. But even so, those were out there pretty far, and I really didn't take the time to carefully aim them. So, I fired a couple shots at the T-95E1, and without having the range on him and him having the range on me, this one, however, I felt pretty confident I was going to get a good hit on him, and sure enough, I did. So that one wasn't really a crazy guesstimated shot. I was 99% sure that shot was going to hit him. So, with our main threat dealt with up at the A point, I'm going to push back in on our friend, the Object 120, who I haven't seen get killed, or haven't seen even get marked or hit on the map, so I'm pretty sure he's still hiding in and among these trees. So I'm going to make a move on him, and then see if I can't circle my way around to the A point, dealing with any enemies along here. And sure enough, there's a pretty obvious firing shot from a Object 120 right up here in the trees, in the houses. So trying to get my speed built up, still kind of climbing a gentle hill here, my STB-1. And as I clear the houses, I got a pretty good guesstimated shot into the side of the Object 120's turret. I'm joking, everybody. That was a little bit of joshing you there. I didn't really need to guesstimate that shot. But that was kill number 4, and a pretty good run so far in the STB-1. Came up here to look over and see if my friend up here had an enemy right on top of him or not. Didn't appear that he did. Checked out the castle, checked out on their sniper hill, didn't see anybody anywhere. And turned around and rolled back in towards A. You can see we had a Leopard in there who was capturing, and he got knocked out by an AD-2, so with nobody else really close to the A point, I figured I better get in there and capture it just to make sure that nobody else is going to decap the B point, since we've got C pretty well covered. I want to make sure we keep a ticket bleed going. So as we make it up to the A point,
Roger that.
I've got a teammate getting in there, starting the capture. Speedy little RU-251, no problems whatsoever. Get up to the cap, get a little bit behind cover, back off, decide I better relocate and spin my tank over towards the enemy spawns here.
Another zone captured. We have the advantage.
And then promptly get strafed by enemy aircraft, which isn't doing any damage except marking me. And just really annoying me and throwing up a lot of dirt. However, he's sort of covering me. And then, just because people get so bent out of shape when I don't use it, I messed around with the hydropneumatic suspension for the STB-1.
Keep it up and victory will be ours.
I very rarely use the suspensions for any of the vehicles that have a movable suspension because it just doesn't... It generally doesn't come into play. Also, because I was playing this on my older system, I just wanted to make sure that the controls were still set up the same as my current system. And they are.
Attack the C point. Roger that. Yes. Bravo! I agree. Bravo! Somebody cover me! Attention to the designated grid square. Returning to the airfield.
And it ended up being a good thing that I did go cap the A point because they did decap the C point, so... There's a Foch taking some guys out, nobody's talking about where he is, so I asked anybody, where's this Foch that's killing everyone? Because I've got Heat FS rounds that can take him on frontally. The Foch has got very dangerous frontal armor if you aren't firing chemical type rounds, chemical energy rounds, but I've got him. And there he is, knocked out now by the Tiger 2H, so... Yes, he's dead. He's dead now. But it really helps to let your team know where a dangerous enemy is before he gets killed, so they can either avoid him if they aren't capable of damaging him, or if they're capable of damaging him, they can respond to him and damage him.
Victory will be ours.
Anyway, a little more suspension adjustment later, and our team starts taking the C point, so... Just kind of taking up a position at the B point, around the B point here, where I can essentially hold off and be ready to react to anything, and then promptly I get something to react to. The enemy starts capturing the A point.
Somebody, cover me! I agree! Another zone captured, we have the advantage.
So, we roll back up, get a overlook onto the A point. The battle's essentially over. I'm not too terribly concerned about losing this, or not losing, but about them stopping us. But, sure enough, I get one last quick guesstimated shot off, get a real big hit into an M48's turret, and I figure he's never going to come back out again. There's no reason for him to. I won't get another shot at him. And then he backs out, and right as I'm about to get a shot into him, you get that stupid end of battle hiccup, and my shot gets thrown off, but it didn't matter. We won. Just kind of funny. That end of battle hiccup has gotten so bad. But it didn't really matter. I got a critical hit into him and whatever. Little tiny bit of score. Even if I'd have killed him, I don't think it would have counted for the actual battle. I think it would have been over by the time he died. But I still got over 10,500 vehicle research towards my Type 87 at the time, and quite a lot of research towards my horizontal drive for the STB-1. So you can see I had a 15% research booster going, so that helped a little bit, but still, 4 kills, 2 caps, no deaths, a second place. It's not a bad battle. And a few awards, and there's the kill feed, so not really that bad. Not that bad at all, and not too bad for, once you get to know the ballistics of the shots you're shooting, it gets really easy to shoot people at long range. So thank you guys all for watching. I hope everybody enjoyed this one. We'll see you soon for more War Thunder, and as usual, I hope everybody has a great day. Take care.